Hey guys, this is Lisa from NYC Gal Out. Welcome back to my channel. We are talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 15, episode 3. So this episode kicks off with the ladies going to Sedona. Sutton, she goes over to Jennifer Tilly's house to basically tell her that, she wants to host a trip with the ladies to take them to Sedona because she wants to do like some sort of meditation thing with all the ladies to kind of get rid of all the bad juju. And I didn't like this scene because I felt like she was being kind of mean and rude to Jennifer Tilly. I keep on forgetting that Jennifer Tilly is biracial. She's half Chinese and not in that weird Kathy Hilton where she's 3000 BC Chinese because some palm reader in Italy told her so. She actually is half Chinese. Her father was Chinese. That was during the whole poor Reet episode where, something was like, you need to pick on somebody with a wallet that's your own size or some shit. But when I saw how compliant Jennifer is, I kind of feel like Jennifer is probably used to being in a room where people say inappropriate things, thinking that it's okay to say it in front of her. Listen, I myself has been in plenty of rooms where people have said very inappropriate, offensive things, and they say it in front of me because they think like somehow I feel the same way or I'm going to jive with it. But I also think a lot of times it's because people forget that I'm actually Asian. I know, right? Like, I look Asian, so how could anybody forget I'm Asian? But believe it or not, if you hang out with me, people tend to forget that I'm actually Asian. Anyway, I digress. I just didn't like the way Sutton treated her. Sutton, I don't like you. I know everybody's jumping on the Sutton is an asshole train right now because they were riding for Garcelle, and now that your girl's out, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, she's a freaking this and that. I never seen it for Sutton, Stracke, Brown, whatever. Ever since her first season where she came on with Crystal, I never saw it for her. Others have. I was riding for my girl Crystal. I don't feel it for you, Sutton. But everybody else, they were riding for Sutton because they were like, oh, Garcelle, she's so great. She's so this. And I was just like, you know what? I don't feel it for Garcelle either. So I don't see it for Sutton, Stracke, Brown, whatever. But it's interesting to see how everyone is now all of a sudden like, oh, we just tolerated Sutton for Garcelle. What kind of bullshit is that? You like someone because you like them and you don't enjoy seeing them on your television screen. You don't just attach them to someone that you do like. That don't make no damn sense. Like, what? This is why the country's in the fucking situation that it is. But anyway, I digress. So I didn't like that scene. No wonder Avi is like out there talking shit about you. I don't know if he is or if he isn't, but according to Amanda, he is. But anyway, so Sutton's hosting this Sedona party for all the ladies and getting a private jet. And that was one of the things too, was that her ex-husband, Christian, he wanted an annulment. And he like petitioned the Vatican to like freaking get an annulment. Now, I kind of feel like if at your big old age with your kids and everything, if you want an annulment from the Catholic Church, it's because you're planning to get married. There is no reason for you at your age to get an annulment unless you want to get married in the church. I saw Sutton's Watch What Happens Live, and she's like, well, that's not what he told me. He told me it'll make us better friends. I don't know. She must either be dumb as rocks or she's just Delulu. She's just Delulu. But I did kind of feel for her when she said, I always thought that, like, if I wanted to get back with Christian, that there was always that possibility. I understood what she was saying, not that Christian is, like, hanging around waiting on the phone for her, but she probably felt that even though they were divorced and whatever, she couldn't believe that it was the end of the road or a closed chapter for them. I understood what she was saying, and it's probably hard to move on from that chapter of your life. I find that with women, it's harder for them to move on from a relationship than it is for a man to move on from a relationship. There's some like really obsessive men out there, but generally speaking, I find that men are able to move on from relationships a lot faster than women are. Even relationships that are already over. It's probably hard for Sutton because she's not dating anyone. I mean, her game's not really good. I'm surprised that she hasn't been on Love Hotel or Love Island or whatever the fuck that show is on Bravo. Because Shannon was on it. Shannon from OC was on it. Heather Gay's on it this upcoming season. Portia's on it, and she legit is like in some sort of lesbian relationship right now. So I'm surprised like Bravo hasn't asked Sutton to be on it. Was she on it? I don't know if she was on it. Maybe she was on it. But if she wasn't on it, they should ask her to be on it, or she should ask them if she could be on it. So she's back to being Sutton Brown. Kyle and Dorit, they meet up. And this was like a really weird interaction with Kyle and Dorit. I don't know why Dorit feels like she needs to convince Mauricio to speak to PK. That's not who you need to convince. Who you need to convince is the court. This is going to head into court. I know you guys are trying to avoid court to do mediation and whatever else, but listen, if he's not even going to mediation, you guys are not able to sit down and agree to anything. I mean, it already seems very messy. You guys aren't even in court yet. It's going to get worse. And I feel like you right now, Dorit, you're on the defense, but I feel like what Amanda and what Kyle is saying in their confessional is actually something that you should listen to. You're going to feel defensive about it, but the fact is, what you say on Bravo, on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that can't be used against you. You're not immune to it. You know, Kyle's saying, well, I don't think it's such a good thing that you're speaking negatively about your ex-husband or, you know, the father of your children on TV or so publicly when you're going to have to go to divorce. That's actually pretty good advice. I know Dorit is probably wanting to win over the court of public opinion, but the court of public opinion isn't going to sway the judge in family courts in Los Angeles County. Now, Amanda, Sutton, Jennifer Tilly, and Kathy Hilton, they meet up for dinner at Kathy Hilton at her beautiful house. And this is where I start to see why people find Amanda not enjoyable to watch on their TV. Because I told you I watched the premiere episode and I recapped the premiere episode when it aired, right after it aired, but I didn't do that for these other episodes, and I'm playing catch up right now because I legit cannot chew gum and walk at the same time. Not in the current atmosphere that I'm in. My head is just not in it. There's just so many crazy shit going on. I'll feel better by the summertime, I think. And I saw a lot of my comments, my feeds on my social media, everybody was kind of like hating on this girl Amanda, and I couldn't really see it. I was like, oh, maybe it's just jealousy because she's young. I think she's what, 40 years old? So I was like, okay, well, you guys are kind of hating on her just because she's young. I mean, I don't know, 40's young. I mean, I'm sure some 20-year-old watching this is going to be like, oh, well, 40's old. You know, these other ladies are hitting like senior citizen ages. They're about to get their Medicare, so Kathy Hilton is already at Medicare age. In this episode, I kind of see it because she does feel like she is one-upping. You know, I see comments where people are like, oh, new money and money talks and wealth whisper. I'm not doing any of that pretentious bullshit. Like, listen, I'm broke as fuck. Okay, maybe I'm not broke, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm living in a mansion on Bel Air either. Which is what, like, a lot of these comments are like a little bit ridiculous, okay? I can't remember who that weirdo is, but she tagged me in a few of her like bullshit, and like she hopped on to a few of my comments when I was recapping New Jersey. Damn, it's the sunglass girl. Hold on. Dana Wilkie, that weirdo. Like that weirdo. I never watched the episode that she was on, but like, you know, there's some scenes that you're just familiar with, even if you've never watched that episode. Like I'm still familiar with, you know, Portia and her missing a whole entire 100 days out of the year and that whole Underground Railroad stuff, even though I never watched that episode of Atlanta. So with Dana Wilkie, I never watched the season that she was on, but I am very familiar. And I think anybody who watches Bravo Housewives, even if you don't watch all the franchises, there are certain things in the Bravo Housewife universe that you're just familiar with. And I know that so many people were like shit talking her because the season that she was on, or the scene that she had, she was like bragging about her glasses. Like, oh my God, my glasses are $25,000. These are $25,000 glasses. Did you see my $25,000 glasses? So a lot of people I saw on my social media were comparing her to her. I see it. I don't think Amanda is as obnoxious as that. She is like over a decade younger than they are. And it's not just that she's younger, but I feel like also maybe she does feel a little bit like a fish out of water. I know that like a producer during her confessional was like, you know, do you feel like a fish out of water? And she's like, no, I belong everywhere that I feel like I belong to. That was like some weird Stephen King shit. I don't know. She's very like unemotional. You know what? Maybe she's autistic. Maybe she's very high functioning. People think that autism means that you are like developmentally delayed. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I mean, you know, there is a correlation, but you don't need to have a developmental delay and be autistic. You can't be on the autistic spectrum and be, you know, normal development. Has anybody noticed that? Like she has like this very flat affect on her where she's just like, no, I belong in any room that I want to be in. It kind of felt a little psychotic. I don't know. I felt like I was watching like, I don't want to say creepy, but it kind of reminded me of Silence of the Lamb a little. It's a great movie, by the way. A great movie. Very psychological. I'm surprised it actually won the Academy Award. You usually don't see that for that kind of movie. I digress. But, you know, I definitely do see why a lot of the Bravo fans aren't exactly jiving with her. And at that dinner, I understood what Amanda was saying. But maybe that's because I'm a millennial. I mean, I don't know how old these ladies are, but I don't think they understood what Amanda was saying. Like, I got what she was saying. Like, Amanda was saying that, Erica was trying to, not haze her or anything, but kind of just like, test her out a little bit. And Amanda, from my perspective of it anyway, I felt like Amanda, she was like, I showed Erica that I could take it. Like, I could take it and I could dish it. That's how I understood it. But Sutton, I don't know why she got like so worked up about it. I don't know what she was feeling about it, but she's like, don't think you understood her for a second. She didn't like that Amanda was basically saying like, I could handle Erica because Sutton Stracke Brown, she cannot handle Erica. I still remember. And see, I didn't see this scene either, but I'm also familiar with this scene when she was like, or what? The ladies, they go to Sedona. She's an hour late, Dorit, and she's like, I'm an hour late because, I had some problems with my mother and the kids and blah, blah. And she's like, isn't this why we fly private so that you could be an hour late? Like, girl, yes, if you're the one paying for it, but this is Sutton who's paying for it. So, like, no, you're kind of... I don't know, Dorit is not somebody that I could be friends with. Like, half an hour is pushing it, but a full hour, no, I'll give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. If I really like you, if we're cool like that, 30 minutes. But an hour, like, not when I'm paying for it. I still don't understand why Rachel sewed that X to her clothes. Like, they were on a private plane. Why couldn't you just bring your luggage? It wasn't like there was going to be a minimum carry-on luggage. That is why you were flying private. Like, I didn't understand what her excuse was. She was saying, like, my carry-on, but you were flying private. Like, I don't know what the hell she was talking about. Maybe I'm not rich enough to understand it. I don't know. But I don't know. She's FedExing her clothes and she's got no clothes or some shit. The first night they have a catered meal by some chef. They're eating fish or whatever. I'm not even sure what it is, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's delicious. So the ladies, they're all gathered around, and then Amanda, she continues kind of with her cringiness, where she was like, I bought $10,000 worth of crystal. And again, that weirdo Dana Wilkie flashed into my head with like, these are sunglasses. Did you see my $25,000 sunglasses? These are $25,000 sunglasses. That was what I immediately thought of. And then I was like, oh, okay, I could see why the Bravo fans aren't really jiving with Amanda at this moment. She is getting a little annoying, but I also feel like the girls are not being that welcoming. Bose is my favorite, but I already called her out on like that weird comment when she was like, oh, you mean his kids? And, in this episode, I'm calling out Sutton for her weird ass, but I've never had it for Sutton like that. So she's just always been a weirdo to me. I do also kind of feel like, Amanda, you're kind of giving them a lot to work with, In some incidents, I just legit think they're picking on you. But I also think in a lot of scenes, you're giving them a reason to pick on you. Like, I think Jennifer Tilly, she would never pick on anyone. I think she's so nice, but I feel like some of the things that Amanda is saying and doing that even Jennifer Tilly finds very off-putting, like, that $10,000 crystal and whatever. I thought it was really funny when Erica was like, oh, well, my friend bought $100,000 crystals, and there's only 2 of them in the whole world, and she has one of them. I thought that was really funny, because it did seem like that, So then, like, Kyle asked Amanda to explain what it is that she does, and I guess like no one really understood or nobody was paying attention or whatever. Kathy Hilton, you definitely saw that she was not paying attention, because Kathy was like, that's great. And then Kyle goes in her confessional and explains that when Kathy Hilton says it's great, it means she's either not paying attention or she doesn't understand what the hell you're talking about. And Kyle's like, but to be fair, I also didn't understand what the hell Amanda was talking about. So then Jennifer Tilly, she asks Erica about her new man. There's a picture of you and this new guy. And I like how, Erica, she talked about him, and Erica told the ladies how they met and everything. She seems giddy. She seems happy. And listen, he's age appropriate. I mean, like when I think of her and Tom, the person that comes to my mind is Anna Nicole Smith. If you don't know who Anna Nicole Smith is, I can't help you. Go Google her, but oh my God. Anyway, that was like what it always pops into my mind between her and Tom. And I think someone like Erica, she needs a dominant man. Listen, somebody like me, I need a dominant man. It's why I have the husband that I have. But so I totally get it. Listen, Erica, I get it. I get it, okay? I love a man in camouflage uniform too. Actual camouflage, not the fucking bullshit that these ICE agents are walking around with. I feel like they're a bunch of pussies, because it's like, if you guys were really tough shit, if you want to, walk your shit, I would have joined the military. What the the hell was I talking about? I digress. Oh, anyway, so all the ladies, they're all like very happy for her. It's a good scene. It ended in a good note, which is what I enjoy, you know. The ladies, they all ended on a good note. The scene ended, everybody laughing, everybody was very happy for Erica. I'm glad that Erica did talk about it because I was not wanting another Kyle Morgan Wade weird situation, whatever the hell. So that was nice. And yeah, that's the episode. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. What are you guys thinking of Amanda? You like her? You're not liking her? All right, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.